Okay, just before the video starts, I'm very sorry. I filmed it with this wall and a big ring light, and I forgot that you're going to have your shadow around your body. So I'm very sorry if it annoys anyone, but I've learnt from my mistake and I will never film in front of that wall again. Good morning everyone. Today I'm going to be doing my video on starting early menopause at 30. I've been going through it quite a bit now, and I done a poll on Instagram and asked if this is something people would like to see, and the majority of people said yes. So I thought, while my little one's napping, I will get this filmed and just kind of go through how I knew it was early menopause, how I got diagnosed, and kind of what I'm doing now, what the doctor's helping with me now. I bought a new ring light and it's very bright, so I don't know if I've got this on right or not, but it looks a bit pinky. So the first thing that I noticed, it must have been about 4 months ago, I think it is. I'll have to look back at the vlogs, I can't remember exactly, but my periods since having Grace, my oldest daughter, she's now 10, have always been so heavy. After Jasper, he's now 1, they were so bad that I would take him to this on the school run in his like little carry cart, or car seats or whatever they're called, and I would drop my daughter off to nursery, and as I would pick the car seat up again, my periods would have been that heavy that it would have all leaked and gone down my legs. Like, that's how heavy my periods were. So at first I went to the doctors about that, and I was given every day that you're on your period you need to take 6 tablets. So I took them and they didn't help, so I still had really heavy periods. In like the end, I just realised this is something I've got to live with. I've had the implant because I know some people's periods stop or it just slows their periods down. I've had the pill, nothing at all helped. So I just thought, this is my life, I'm going to have the worst periods ever, I'm just going to have to live with it. So about 4 or 5 months ago, I remember I was due to have my period, and my periods have been the same day constantly. Like, I've never had a different date for my period. Obviously after you have a baby they change, but it was the 26th of every month without fail. And I remember it got to about the 29th and I was thinking, oh my god, I still haven't got my period. I was thinking, please do not let me be pregnant. I have 4 kids already, and I do not want any more. I remember taking a pregnancy test and it was negative, so I knew I wasn't pregnant, but I thought I'll give it another day or 2 and I'll see. Anyway, I didn't start my period until the 6th of the next month, so I'd kind of missed a whole month. And I was thinking, well, this isn't normal, but I thought maybe it's just this month, I'll see how things go. But I had my period for 2 days, and my periods normally last 10 days, and they're heavy, start to finish. And I remember thinking, this is not right, it's only been 2 days, and it was really light, it wasn't heavy at all. And then it finished, I had 2 days in between, and then I started my period again, and it was very heavy. So I was thinking, well, this ain't normal, you're only meant to have 1, not 2. So I did go to the doctors about that, and she told me to wait a few more months to see if it's just my body's still sorting itself out after having a baby, or if I need to have another smear test done. The next 3 periods after that was still the month. I would like miss a month and then I would have the periods again, or not miss a month, it was the 6th, so the new date was the 6th, so I tried to go off then, and then the month after that it was the 4th, and then the month after that it was the 2nd, then the month after that it was the 9th. So they weren't consistent, they weren't like on the same date every month like they've always been. So I knew something there was not right and something was going on. And in between, on 2 of the periods, I had bleeding in between, and it was just like spotting, so I knew it wasn't like a proper period. Only once I did have a proper period, but the other times it was just like spotting, or when I'd go to the loo and I'd wipe, there'd be blood on the tissue, but nothing like a proper period. But still, obviously that's not normal, so I got that checked and everything there was fine. I remember one night waking up and I had like night sweats, I don't know if that's what they call it, where you wake up in the middle of the night, and I was sweating. You would have thought I'd run a marathon. I was so hot, and throughout the whole next day I was so hot all the time. I remember taking my jumper off, I was in just a t-shirt, I was still like sweating, we had no heating on, so I knew it wasn't the like heater was up too high, or I was under the covers and I had too many layers on, I literally like stripped down and I was still sweating. I was still so hot. I literally felt like I was going crazy. I was saying to my husband, like, I cannot cope feeling like this is horrendous. And then I remember driving the kids to school and something came on the radio saying about women starting their menopause earlier and earlier, and if you have any of these symptoms, and it went through like symptoms, and I had most of them, like the night sweats, you can't sleep, my anxiety was horrendous, depression, which I had postnatal depression anyway, so I didn't know if it was to do with that, but I know early menopause can give you depression, and my doctor also told me that as well. So I remember like hearing that on the radio, and I thought, I definitely think this is what I have. I did want to go to the doctors before, but I thought they're going to think I'm stupid. They're going to say, you're 30, go away. Like, no, we're not going to help you. So I was kind of glad I heard that on the radio, and I kind of brought that up as well when I went to my doctor's appointment. So I mentioned it, and they told me to have some blood tests. So I went and had blood tests. They checked my blood pressure as well, and that was fine. And then I remember it took like 2 weeks for me to get my results. Every time I phoned, this doctor couldn't give my results. I had to see a certain doctor, and then she phoned me one day, and my 1-year-old had my phone and he hung up, and she didn't call me back for another like 3 days. And I remember just being in tears to my husband, and I was like, I cannot feel like this anymore. I literally felt so down, so depressed, and I was like, I can't feel this. I knew it was menopause. Oh God, why am I getting upset? Okay, I don't know why I'm getting silly. This is so silly. I don't know why I'm getting upset. I think I was just so stressed out. And like, as silly as it sounds, like, oh God. Why am I like getting teary? Sorry. Anyway, so I got my results from my doctors, and she said that I had polycystic ovaries, which I never knew I had. And I know my mum and my sister has it, and apparently if it can run in the family, which I didn't know this. She said to me, she was like really rude down the phone, and she was like, you've got polycystic ovaries. I don't know if it is early menopause. She was like, but just count yourself lucky that your periods aren't heavy and your periods are really light now, and just carry on as you are. And I remember I put the phone down because I was so shocked. Like, I didn't argue, I didn't say anything on the phone. I was just like, right. And then I spoke to my husband, and the more I spoke about it, I was getting so angry, and I was like, how can your doctor tell you that and just say, oh, just count yourself lucky? And she told me also to go and get my iron levels and my B12 and my vitamin D checked, because they are always low. And I thought maybe, okay, maybe it is my maybe I'm a bit anemic, and that's why I feel so down. Literally, I had no energy. I just didn't feel like myself. I think I'm getting sad because I was like really struggling with the kids, and I like didn't play with the kids, and I had like no energy. This was like vile to be around, like my husband. So I really didn't think this would be like a crying video. So I'm like, oh, breathe, breathe, breathe. I think I was just so down, and like I honestly felt like no one's helping me. I remember just, I gave it like 3 days, and I was like, no, like this is not right. And if you feel like you're going through this and no one's helping you, like, do not let them tell you, just carry on. And you know how you feel, you know what you're going through. And if you don't feel right or don't feel normal, like, keep pushing and like tell them, no, like, this ain't right. So I went to get my B12 vitamin D, I think that's the one, the sunshine one, whatever that is, when you need sunshine, and my iron levels checked, and they came back fine. Like, it was just my vitamin D. So I was thinking, like, this is not normal. So they gave me tablets for that, and that was fine. But I was just like dizzy all the time, and I remember I just phoned my doctor back, and I was like, this is not right. I need to be referred. I'm not being left feeling like this. But anyway, they done some more tests, and it came back that I have started early menopause, which, do you know, obviously I'm not going to have any more children, so that side of things doesn't upset me. It's just the feeling like this, and I have no energy, and I'm like sweating all the time. And I know when people go through menopause, and like, obviously I didn't really think about menopause or how people feel, because I think, oh, I've got a few more years for that yet, but it's horrendous, it's horrible, literally, like, I've never felt so low in my life. But I finally like argued with the doctor, and I said I want to be referred to a specialist. I looked online everywhere for a specialist, and there was people that could help, but they wanted like ridiculous amounts of money, like $2,000, and that wasn't even for your tablets. If you need help, you go to see a specialist, they take like loads of blood tests, and they see what's your body's performing and what it's not. If that makes, I can't think of the correct word, but basically I'm not making any or enough, I can't remember if it was testosterone or it was something. I need to find my results anyway. And well, once I've been to see a specialist, I've finally got referred, and I'm just waiting for them now to phone back. I did try and book an appointment before Christmas, but it was so busy, they had nothing, so they're going to phone me back in the new year, which is now. And they're going to actually do loads of blood tests, go through everything, and then they can give me medication to help me, like try and help your, I think the night sweats, try and like just help cope with your menopause. So I won't even take tablets. I will not even take paracetamol. Like, I don't like putting stuff in my body. I'm like, nope, I don't need anything, I'm fine. But I'm at a stage now where I think, do you know what, I need help, because I cannot feel like this anymore. So where my periods are now, they're still very light. Like, I kind of can tell they're stopping now, and they're not heavy anymore. They're still really light. They are lasting, well, I've had about 4 periods now, and they've lasted 2 to 3 days. I hope this video's made sense. Like, obviously I'm kind of all over the place at the moment until I get my actual appointment and they've taken tests and they go through everything with me bit by bit. I kind of still don't really know what's going on, but I definitely will do another update video once I know more what's going on. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon for part 2.